and decimals. We're going to convert the following fractions to decimals. So we've done this a couple of times already in this unit. So we are going to see how we can apply this strategy into some applications. So first of all, let's recap. In order to convert a fraction to a decimal number, we need to take the numerator and divide by the denominator. And you can do that either in your head or using long division or using a calculator. So 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Moving on to example B. 1 over 4 is the same as 1 divided by 4. And 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. 3 over 4 is the same as 3 divided by 4, which is 0.75. 1 over 3 is the same as 1 divided by 3. And 1 divided by 3 is 0.3 repeating. So we need to put the dot above the 3 to represent that. 5 divided by 8 is the same as 5 divided by 8. And 5 divided by 8 is 0.625. 1 divided by 9 is the same as 1 divided by 9 this way. And 1 divided by 9 is 0.1 repeating. So we can place the dot over the 1 to recognize that that repeats forever and ever. And lastly, 2 over 11 is the same as 2 divided by 11. And 2 divided by 11 is 0.18181818, and so on. We're going to place a line above 1 and 8 because those two numbers repeat forever and ever and ever. So let's see how we can apply this into a real-life situation. In the game of baseball, a fraction is converted to a decimal to calculate a player's batting average. So the batting average is calculated by taking the number of hits, dividing by the number of at-bats. And we're going to use this information about how to convert a fraction into a decimal number to figure out what the batting averages would be for the following players, and then we're going to rank them in order from the best batter to the worst batter. And we always have to make sure that the batting average is recorded to the nearest thousandths, so thousandths is 3 decimal places. So let's go ahead and complete this chart. So in order to find the batting average, I need to come up with a fraction that represents the information for Mitch. So Mitch, he managed to hit the ball 33 times out of 106 times at bat. So I'm going to calculate this or convert this into a decimal number. And so 33 divided by 106 is 0.311. In order to figure out the rank, I have to find out all of the batting averages first and then work from that way. For Abe, his batting average will be 34 divided by 119. And that works out to be 0.286. So it's 2857, but that 7 is larger than 5, so it rounds that 5 up to a 6. So really pay attention to the rounding rules when you are doing these calculations, because rounding is a very important skill to know and to know correctly. And if you get a question wrong on a test or a quiz or an assignment and it's a rounding error, you'll lose half a mark. So Keith, his batting average will be 30 divided by 104. And that gives us a value of 0.288. Bill has a batting average of 31 over 116. And that gives us a value of 0.267. And lastly, Nick has a batting average of 28 over 91. And that gives us a value of 0.308 because we have to round that 7 up. So now that we have the calculations done for all of our players, we're going to rank them in order from the best batter to the worst batter. So we want someone who has a higher batting average to be in there so that they can get our home run and the team wins and it's all great. So we need to look about which number here is larger. And so we'll go place value by place value. So we start with our ones and they're all zeros. So then we have to go to our tenths place. And so we have now number 1 is either between Mitch and Nick because they both have a 3 and 3 is greater than 2. So then we go to the next place value, which is our hundredths, and Mitch has a 1 and Nick has a 0. So Mitch is in first place and Nick is in second place. From here we go to Abe, Keith, and Bill. So again, we want to look at the place value. So they all start with a 0. So then we move to the tenths place. They all have a 2. So then we move to the hundredths place. And Abe and Keith have an 8. And Bill has a 6. So Bill is in last place because his number is lower. So I can put a 5 here for Bill. So then it's just a matter between Abe and Keith, which one is better. So then I look at my last place value, so my thousandths place value, and my 8 is greater than my 6, so Keith is in third place and Abe is in fourth place. If you have any questions about this lesson, please reach out, send me an email, or sign up for a virtual help session, and I will see you in the next lesson.